Choosing blame is like rocking in a chair. It gives you something to do, but gets you nowhere. Action, on the other hand, is like walking. You may stumble, but at least you're moving forward. True leaders and emotionally mature individuals understand that taking responsibility is the foundation of integrity and growth. It is easy to step forward when applause is guaranteed, but it takes real courage to step up when accountability is required. When something goes wrong, the instinct of many is to deflect, deny, or disappear. But those who choose responsibility don't waste time crafting excuses. They invest time creating solutions. They are not interested in preserving their ego. They are committed to preserving progress. Such people do not view mistakes as threats to their image, but as invitations to improve. Taking responsibility means acknowledging one's role in a situation without being defensive. It means saying, I may not have caused this alone, but I'm willing to help fix it. This attitude inspires trust, earns respect, and fosters growth, both personal and collective. On the other hand, people who only show up when it's time to receive credit are often exposed when adversity strikes. They vanish when challenges demand accountability, but reappear when results promise recognition. This imbalance creates not only distrust, but also weakens the very culture they are part of, whether in a workplace, a family, or a society. By consistently taking responsibility, even when outcomes are unfavorable, individuals demonstrate a commitment to something greater than personal validation. They shift the focus from ego to excellence, from blame to betterment. In the long run, people remember not just what you achieved, but how you carried yourself when things didn't go as planned. Those who consistently own their actions, good or bad, are the ones who build legacies that last beyond the applause. One of the most powerful shifts a person can make is moving from a problem-centered mindset to a solution-oriented one. It is natural to feel frustrated when things go wrong, when plans fall apart, when someone lets us down, or when life simply doesn't go the way we expected. However, staying stuck in the cycle of why did this happen or who messed this up often leads nowhere. While it is important to reflect and learn from mistakes, overanalyzing the past can paralyze progress. People who focus on what can be done ask better questions, not whose fault is this, but what's the next best step forward. They don't dwell on spilled milk, they grab a mop, learn where the bottle was unstable, and move on. This mindset doesn't ignore the problem, but it refuses to be consumed by it. Instead of dramatizing failure, they channel their energy into designing the recovery. Focusing on actionable steps requires emotional discipline and mental clarity. It means resisting the urge to complain and instead directing attention to areas where influence still exists. Such people understand that even in the worst situations, there is something they can control: their response, their attitude, their next move. This doesn't mean they dismiss pain or avoid accountability. It means they process those things quickly and then look toward progress. In teams, families, or communities, these individuals are often the peacemakers and the problem solvers. They reduce conflict by focusing on solutions, not accusations. They uplift others by asking empowering questions like, what can we learn from this? Or how do we prevent this next time? In a world obsessed with finding someone to blame, those who focus on finding a way forward stand out and often become the reason others move forward too. Purpose is the compass that keeps a person steady when the storms of life hit. When people choose action over blame, they don't just move, they move with intention. They don't react emotionally or impulsively just to feel like they're doing something. Instead, they pause, reflect, and then take thoughtful, meaningful steps toward a clear goal. Moving forward with purpose means not allowing failure, disappointment, or judgment from others to dictate your next move. It's the art of realigning with your values, your goals, and your deeper why, even when circumstances seem discouraging. People who move with purpose don't waste time obsessing over what they can't change. Instead, they pour their energy into what they can create. They understand that forward motion without direction is just noise, but forward motion with intention is progress. In every setback, they ask themselves, how can I turn this into fuel for the future? That question alone sets them apart. Such individuals carry a sense of quiet determination. They don't seek external applause to validate their steps because their motivation comes from within. Purpose acts like a fire within them, guiding each decision with clarity and conviction. And when they face obstacles, and they will, they don't freeze in confusion or spiral into negativity. Instead, they anchor themselves in their purpose and keep going, whether in personal life or professional settings. These are the people who bounce back faster, grow deeper, and achieve more meaningful outcomes. They're not just busy, they're aligned. They aren't just moving, they're evolving. Purpose gives their action weight, direction, and impact. And perhaps most importantly, it transforms pain into purpose, chaos into clarity, and setbacks into stepping stones. Complaining is easy. Anyone can do it. It requires no skill, no courage, and certainly no solutions. But inspiring others, that takes strength, character, and consistent action. Those who truly lead and uplift others do so not through loud criticism or constant negativity, but through quiet resilience and the strength of example. They don't just talk about what needs to change, they become that change. In moments when others grumble about what's wrong with the system, the boss, or the world, these individuals calmly ask, what can I do about it? And then they do it. Whether it's staying late to help a teammate, handling a crisis with dignity, or simply showing up every day with integrity, they model what they wish to see in others. Their example becomes contagious. Without forcing or preaching, they raise the standards around them simply by how they live. These people understand that complaining really inspires, it drains, it spreads frustration, divides teams, and creates a culture of helplessness. But positive action, when done consistently and quietly, speaks volumes. When someone handles difficulty with grace or addresses conflict with maturity, others take notice. In workplaces, they become the ones people turn to not because they're the loudest, but because they are the most reliable. In families, they become the anchor, the ones whose presence brings peace, not tension. And in society, they become role models, not because they have perfect lives, but because they respond imperfectly with humility and growth. Inspiration, after all, is not about impressing others. It's about influencing them to rise. And nothing influences like a life that silently says, watch me rise above, and you'll believe you can too.